Abbie, let's firstly touch on last weekend's loss to AFC Bournemouth in the League Cup. What were your kind of key takeaways from that performance?
Yeah, really proud of my team and how we dug in and showed some real character and fight. It was a difficult afternoon for us for various reasons, but yeah, real over sense of pride taken from the game. We played really well. We knew exactly what we were doing, and at no point did I think we came away from our plan at any point. So real testament to the girls for that.
JD will miss a couple of games now after a suspension on Sunday. How much of a loss is this going to be for the team?
Yeah, so she only misses the one, which is obviously not ideal, but in an ideal situation, you know, when you receive a red, you want a minimal as possible. So yeah, she'll miss this Sunday. JD's a fantastic player for us. She's proven that through her performances this season. I think there's been quite a shift in her performance levels recently. She's really started to dominate her duels and win her physical battles, and yeah, disappointing, especially in the manner that she was sent off. But look, not to dwell on the past anymore and move forward. But she'll be a huge loss, but she'll be there cheering on, and she's done excellently well in training to make sure she's been a really good teammate to make sure that the person stepping in is going to do an adequate job, and just been a good character around the group. So yeah, she's held her hands up. Not that it's on her, but yeah, looking forward to having her back available next week. But she's been fantastic. Good resilience shown from her.
That, of course, brought to an end a 4-game unbeaten mark. Is this something you're really worried about? I know you said your focus is going to be on the league and the FA Cup, but do you worry this could kind of affect the morale within the team?
No, absolutely not. I'd be lying if I wouldn't say it's disappointing to lose on the run. Of course it is, but if you've seen the games and if you've be a part of this group, you know, this group's really used to adversity and really used to having their backs against the wall and fighting, and it's just another moment of that. We always say here at Exeter that your performances will speak louder than sometimes the results. We know that we're doing the right things. We know that we're working really hard. We're being extremely honest with each other. Good teammates, really good coaches around the group, getting the right answers, getting the right tune from the players. Fortunately for us, football has got a funny way of sometimes controlling you know, the outcomes and things. And ultimately, if you don't put the ball in the back of the net and you don't defend your goal, you don't win football matches. But there's far more bigger pictures to that. What we have resource-wise and what we have available to us is very limited. So what this group of players does is incredible work, and is incredible. You know, the results that we get are incredible. I'm not just talking about the 3 points there, but what we do out in the community, the engagement that we have with our fans at the stadium, and everything like that. It far outweighs sometimes winning or losing on a Sunday. So yeah, I'm incredibly proud, and I would be in a different place if those performances and the people weren't there. But we've got really good people at this football club, and yeah, that makes it worthwhile every week.
Looking back at the squad, there's been a few changes in the past few weeks with some comings and goings. Obviously Molly left after the Argyle game, but there's been a couple more recently. While it's a shame for the team, I'm sure you'll be wishing the best for them personally as well.
100%, yeah, absolutely. You know, women's football is not the same as men's football. We are blessed with having some good local teams around us, and ultimately players want to play football. It's not something that we can make a career out of at this level. So sitting on the bench week in, week out sometimes isn't what players want. They want to be challenged and they want to play as high as possible. So I have absolutely no issues with the players that have departed for those reasons at all. Some have departed for other reasons as well. So, you know, of course they go with our best wishes, and they'll always be a part of the family. And if they ever want to come back again, you know, the door is always open here. And yeah, we wish them well.
Another question about the squad. There's been a couple injuries as of late, but seems like it's kind of starting to get back on track. What's the latest with the squad fitness?
Yeah, we're nursing a few. We have to be really careful with how we use a few of our players at the moment. We're in a really critical part of the season where we've got 2 big league games coming up, which we feel we need to win. So we need to be making sure that we prioritise the players that are struggling through those and nurse them through what is a tricky time. As it is always around November, December time, it comes thick and fast. And the squad, as we've already touched on, is now a little bit thinner than I'd like it. But, you know, as I've touched on already, we're a team that likes to come out swinging. We don't feel sorry for ourselves. We're not going to sit here and mope. You're not going to hear that from me at all. We need to make sure we stand up now and puff our chest and really fight for what we want.
Wimbledon on Sunday. What threats can you expect them to bring to Coach Road?
Yeah, they're a really dangerous team. I think their results have proven that. They've beaten Lewis and come up stuck against a few other teams. So it's a real mixed bag of results. I don't look at the table too much because sometimes that doesn't really tell a true story. We got humbled away from home last season by them quite big. So we know that we need to make sure we're on the front foot from minute one, and we really impose ourselves and are really aggressive with what we do. And hopefully that will lead to another good performance. And if that comes, then I'm sure that the 3 points will come from that.
It's also the second of 3 consecutive home games done at Coach Road. How much of an impact is this to try and get some home momentum going by getting a win on Sunday?
Yeah, huge. I've said what I wanted to say to the players in terms of where we see these next 3 games. So if the fans can come out in force and really stick with us in these next couple of games, we need them now more than ever, especially going into what I've already touched on is a difficult winter period. This group of players needs the support they can get from everybody. So please brave the weather, come on down. I'm sure once you've been to a game, you'll want to keep coming back. It's definitely a completely different atmosphere to what you'd get on a Saturday for some really good reasons. And hopefully you'll see a great game of football as well.
This was also one of the games that's kind of in this lead up to the break we have around Christmas time. Where do you want the team to be come the last game of the last game of this block before the winter break?
I've said some things behind closed doors to the players on where I see us finishing this calendar year. There's no reason why we can't take maximum points and we can't go far in the FA Cup. That is ultimately that's our goal. But we've got a set of points that we want to get between now and Christmas break. There is a big momentum shift in the group at the minute, from where we were in late September to where we are now. There's a mindset, there's a mentality shift from a lot of them that we need to make sure that we come out swinging most weeks. And I don't think that we've not done that previous, but this league and football, if you feel sorry for yourself for too long, it will swallow you up and you'll get left behind. So we need to make sure that we don't feel sorry for ourselves, we don't dwell on what has been, and we look forward to the positives and what we can do, because this football team only knows how to win. So we need to make sure we get back to those ways.
It was announced today that Georgia Vaccaro won the October Player of the Month. Such a young player, just coming into the team and fitting in so well. You must be so proud.
Incredibly proud of her, incredibly proud. And this is just a showpiece for young football players that are in and around Devon. We give you an opportunity here. It's not just Georgia Vaccaro that's young. It's Maddie, it's Fern, it's Jess Sandland, it's Liv Giles. They've all come through the system at some point and I need an opportunity to play on a platform. And Georgia, thankfully now, is back fit, and hopefully we'll see the fruits of that over the next few weeks. But she's an incredible talent. I've always said that she could play higher if she chose to really push herself. She's settled in well with the group, and I think that's a testament to the group as well. She's managing her life again differently again. She's just started college. She's just come into senior women's football. So you take into consideration all of those factors, an injury at such a young age, but the way she's bounced back and the resilience that she's shown, she's an absolute credit to herself. And yeah, that one's definitely for the future. She's going to go on and hopefully surpass Sophie Gillies and Sarah Stacey in the goal scoring charts.
So Georgia, your first pre-match interview of the season, your first pre-match interview since signing. Thoughts on how it's gone so far and how you've settled in?
Yeah, really happy with how I've settled in. The girls are lovely, welcomed me in really well, and I've got along with all of them, so happy with that.
What about from a footballing side? What do you think of the results that we've had so far this season?
I think some of the performances we've had haven't really reflected the results we've got. So I think the girls just need to keep pushing, and so soon we'll get the results we deserve.
Obviously, you mentioned you joining a senior women's football team. What's it been like going from the youth level to third tier football?
Yeah, no, it's been it was a big step up. It is different. You're not playing with people the same age as you, but I feel like I've settled in well and worked hard, and through pre-season, I'm lucky to have pre-season as the start. All the girls have been lovely, so that's always helpful. And yeah, it's been a big change, but I'm happy like the way it's gone.
You battled a bit of injury at the start of the season. It caused you to miss a few games, but then you were working hard on the training pitch to try and come back and combat that, and you've returned with a few goals to your name already, so you must be pleased with that.
Yeah, no, really pleased. Injuries aren't hard. Injuries aren't good, sorry.
I'll clip that one.
Hard. They're hard, so to go for it at like my age, it's just something I got to keep battling, you know. Physio team have been great, been working really hard to get back into it, and it was a long journey, but to get to where I was and then score against Torquay, I was really happy with that.
You mentioned that Torquay goal, and I'll put a bit of a B-roll on now of that, but some personal highlights. You scored away at Torquay, you got another goal and assist a week later, and today it was announced you won the October Player of the Month award, so I'm sure you must be delighted with that as well.
Yeah, no, I'm buzzing. I think after the injury, I've had some good performances, and I'm glad to get a couple goals and assists, so yeah, it's been good.
Looking back at last weekend, it was a loss at home to Bournemouth in the League Cup. What were your kind of thoughts on the performance and the result?
Yeah, I think we played well. Like, the result obviously is not happy and everyone doesn't like to see that, but our performance was good. Like, I don't think anyone was disappointed with our performance. We played well, it just wasn't our day, and you know, we'll get that soon, like it will click, so yeah, we're nearly there.
Abbie's been very open to me all season, saying how the focus is going to be on the league and the FA Cup rather than the League Cup. So I imagine you and the team can't really look into that result too much, and you've just kind of got to put it in the past and move on.
Yeah, no, we always look to move on after results like that, but yeah, we've got to focus on the league, and you know, performances like that will reflect results soon. And so we will get there.
You mentioned the performance there. I take it there must have been some positives that can be brought from that.
Yeah, there was. I think we did play really well first half. Second half, I think we dropped a little bit, but we brought that back up and just didn't get the result. Obviously,
your first season as in the training group. What's the mood been like amongst the players? What's it been like since you've known them?
They're a funny group, good bunch. I get along with them all really well, and they've been like so good for me. They treat me like I'm their little sister. So no, it's been really nice.
There's been a few changes within the squad in recent weeks. Obviously, Molly left after the Argyle game, and there's been a couple more announced recently. What's this affected? Has this affected the team at all, or have you just kind of got to?
It's not nice losing players, but you have to move on and look forward to what's next and focus on the team that we've got, rather than old sort of news like that. But it's tough losing players, especially like Molly, who's been here a while. But you have to move on and look forward to the next game and so forth.
And I'm sure you'll be wishing your former teammates all the best as well in their next ventures.
Yeah, no, definitely. Yeah, I will do.
AFC Wimbledon at home on Sunday. How are you and the team going to approach this one?
I think we have to go in there, not underestimate them. I know they're a bit lower in the league, but we have to go in there strong-minded and put a performance out there to get the win. We need to win that game. It's a must-win for us, so we just need to work really hard and don't underestimate them, and yeah, get some goals.
It's a tight kind of midfield pack in the league table at the moment, so I imagine you can't be kind of looking at that too much. I mean, you know, when the result on Sunday could swing either way for us, we could shoot up or we could shoot down, so I imagine it's a case of just focus on the game and not really worry what the league table says.
Yeah, no, you can't worry too much. I mean, everyone's sort of beating everyone at the point, like the middle of the table is quite close together, but we just got to focus on ourselves, and we're the only team that matters, and when it comes to games we just got to focus and do our job.
It's also the second of 3 consecutive home games down at Coach Road. What's the fans been like down there so far this season? It must really help you to have a few hundred there behind you.
Yeah, no, they are really good. Every week at Coach Road they're brilliant. You can always hear them cheering on, screaming. But no, they've been really helpful, and it's nice to have that when you're playing. You can always hear them, and it sort of gives you the energy you need.
It's also the start of our kind of run-in before the Christmas break, where we missed a few weeks. But where, on a personal note, where do you want to be, kind of in terms of what do you want to achieve ahead of the next calendar year?
I'd like to get a few more goals. Obviously, that's always nice to score some goals, but I think for the team as well, we need to win up to Christmas. Like, we'd like to go unbeaten, obviously, but it's just something we've got to go from week to week, really focus on winning those games.